Hare Krishna. Let's do Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunj Bihari. Jai Gopi Janavallabha, Jaya Giravardhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha, Jaya Giravardhari. Shodanandana Rajjana Ranjana, Shodanandana Rajjana Ranjana, Yamuna Tiravanachari. Jayo Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyan Anjana Shalakya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sekrijatam Sagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sachivam Sadvetam Savdutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Haripriye Vanchakalpatrubrihascha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Patitana Pavnevo Vaishnavyo Namo 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 Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Te Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Parcharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Dishatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mukham Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatam Mandashi Gurundin Taranam Paramanandamana Shitaneshwaram. Hari Om Tassat. Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jamaduriyat Nastavya Shabdure Shunitam Bhavasya Bhavatutam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Nestaki. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining. So we continue. We're nearly at the end of chapter 11. Krishna's trip to, he's going back home to Dwarka. And last time we were talking about the etiquettes of respect and Krishna's unlimited opulences and expansions, unlimited expansions like that. Jivas can expand, Krishna can expand 16,000 times or 16,000 million times. Whatever he wants to do, is God and is unlimited in all his opulences, all his energies are unlimited. He can pick up he can hold the unlimited material and spiritual universes with a fragment, small fragment of his energy, just very small fragment. That's all he needs. to lift all the universes. So you can imagine, who can challenge Krishna, but our ego is so big, we still try. And we think this we are God and we are good as equal to God or better than Him. So let's continue. Okay. So we are on verse 32. Tam atam je drishtibir antaratmana duranta bhava parirabir patim narudham api ashravad ambu netrao vilajati nam briguvarya viklavat. So Tam means the Lord, Atam Jahi by the sons, Drishtibihi by the sight, Antaratmana by the innermost part of the heart, Duranta Bhava, insuperable ecstasy, Parire Bire, embraced, Patim, husband, Nirudam, choked up, Api, in spite of, Ashravat, tears, Ambu, like drops, Netryoho, from the eyes, Vilajit Jatinam, of those situated in shyness, Bhrigu of chief of the Bhrigus, Vaiklavat, inadvertently. So the insuperable ecstasy was so strong that the queens who were shy first embraced the Lord in the innermost recesses of their hearts. So this we discussed in last week, that it's shyness is seen as a, it's a great thing for females, which was available in the past years. Then they embraced him visually, and then they sent their sons to embrace him, which is equal to personal embracing. So that's how they embraced him, by sending the children, extension of themselves, to embrace the Lord, and that was good as them embracing him themselves. But O chief amongst the Bhrigus, though they tried to restrain their feelings, they inadvertently shed tears. Although due to feminine shyness, there were many hindrances to embracing the dear husband, Lord Sri Krishna. The queens performed that act by seeing him, so they mentally embraced him by putting him in the cores of their hearts and by sending their sons to embrace him. Still, the act remained unfinished, and tears rolled down the cheeks despite all endeavors to check them. One indirectly embraces the husband by sending the son to embrace him, because the son is developed as part of mother's body. The embrace of the son is not exactly the embrace of the husband and wife from the sexual point of view, but the embrace is satisfaction from the affectionate point of view. So the affection is the same. The embrace of the eyes is more effective in the conjugal relation. And thus, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, there is nothing wrong in such an exchange of feeling between husband and wife. So it's very nice. So 32. So shyness is amplifying the intimacy. So it's like a bit like love in separation, because they cannot actually physically touch each other. So that feeling is just intensifying the intimacy or the separation. They first embrace the Lord with their eyes, then their heart, then their children. So that was the process. So they see him first, and then they bring him, they feel for him from the heart, and then the children embrace. That is love, which is so powerful that tears just roll down the cheeks. So in the material world, sexual intimacy is the basis of the relationship. That's seen as the main thing. And in this yuga, it becomes the predominating motive for the relationship. It's all about lust. Real spiritual relationship is not based on sexual intimacy, it's based on the satisfaction derived from a loving, so heart to heart, soul to soul relationship, which is beyond comprehension in the Kali Yuga. So it's all, like Srila Prabhupada says, we have a skin disease, soul is all about the skin, and that's far as our attraction goes for the for the husband or the wife. It's that's the main attraction. Then everything else follows after that. Yadyapi yasau prishvagato raho gyatas tathapi tasyangri yugam navam navam pade pade ka virameta tat pada chalapi yachritna jahati karhichit. So yadi, although api, certainly, asau, he, parish gatha, just by the side, raha gatha, exclusively alone, tathapi, still, tasya, his, angri yugam, the feet of the Lord, navam navam, newer and newer, pade, step, pade, in every step, kahu, virmeta, can be detached from, tat padat, from his feet, chalapi, moving, yat whom, Shri, the goddess of fortune herself, na, never, jahati, quits, karichit, at any time. So although Lord Shri Krishna was constantly by their sides, as well as exclusively alone, his feet appeared to be them to be newer and newer. This is interesting. The goddess of fortune, although by nature always restless and moving, could not quit the Lord's feet. So what woman can be detached from those feet, having once taken shelter of them? So Srila Prabhupada explains, excuse me, conditioned living beings are always after the favor of the goddess of fortune. Although by nature she is moving from one place to another, she is seen as chanchala. In the material world, no one is permanently fortunate, however clever one may be. There have been so many big empires in different parts of the world. There have been so many powerful kings all over the world, and there have been so many fortunate men, but all of them have been liquidated gradually. This is the law of material nature. What is born must die. Everything has a shelf life in this material world. But spirituality, it is different. According to Brahma Samhita, the Lord is served very respectfully by hundreds and thousands of goddesses of fortune. They're always in a lonely place, also with the Lord, but still the association with the Lord is so inspiringly newer and newer that they cannot quit the Lord for a moment, even though they are by nature very restless and are moving about. The spiritual relation with the Lord is so enlivening and resourceful that no one can leave the company of the Lord once having taken shelter of Him. The living beings are by constitution feminine by nature. So we are Prakriti, whereas the Lord is the only Purusha, and we are the enjoyed, and He is the enjoyer. The male or enjoyer is the Lord, and all manifestations of His different potencies are feminine by nature. So there's only one Purush, and that's the Lord Himself. No other male or female can class them as Purush, because Purush means enjoyer, and we are not the enjoyer, we are the enjoyed. In the Bhagavad-Gita, the living beings are designated as Para Prakriti, or superior potency. So we're still Prakriti, we're superior Prakriti, but we're still Prakriti. The material elements are Apara Prakriti, or inferior potency. So the matter, the 5 types of matter, and is what we can see, or even can't see, like we can't see ether. That is inferior to us. The material elements are inferior to us, but we are the superior matter, or Prakriti, and the material elements are the inferior Prakriti. That's the only difference. Such potencies are always employed for the satisfaction of the employer or the enjoyer. So whether it's superior Prakriti or inferior, we are both employed by the enjoyer, the superior, the satisfaction of our employer. The superior enjoyer is the Lord himself, as stated in Bhagavad-Gita 5.29. The potencies, therefore, when engaged directly in the service of the Lord, it revived the natural color, and thus there is no disparity in the relation of the potent and potency. Generally, people engaged in service are always seeking some post under the government or supreme enjoyer of the state. Since the Lord is the supreme enjoyer of everything in or outside the universe, it is happiness to be employed by Him. So He's the best employer you can have. Once engaged in the supreme governmental service of the Lord, no living being wishes to be relieved from the engagement. It's an eternal employment. You can't go wrong. As long as you do your job properly, you're there for eternity. It's like sometimes you say the government jobs are there, for life. So this job here, working as a servant for the Lord, is for eternity. The highest perfection of human life is to seek some employment under the Lord's supreme service. That will make one extremely happy. One need not seek the moving goddess of fortune without a relation of the Lord. So He's the best employer, and He provides everything for us. He really looks after us if we are in His service, and He is the kind of employer that He will even serve us. It's not like He's renounced. He doesn't think, oh, I'm the employer, so I can't serve anyone. Everybody should serve me. He's happy to serve His employees. This is the difference between this employer and any other employer. He's happy to do the work for us, and we have seen, like Arjun, he served Arjun. He became in a lower service to him when he was firing arrows. Krishna was, he's Parthasarthi to him. So there's an example here that he will serve you, whatever is required to do. I mean, when they're doing the manthan of the ocean, he became a tortoise, and they used him. He became an instrument for that manthan of the ocean. He'll do anything for his devotees, whatever he needs to become. What are they? Become like a pig to save the earth. He can do anything, but he still remains God. That's the main thing. He's still always superior, and we are still his his servants under him. Okay, so just to add, so the law of liquidation is that no matter how much fortune, opulence, facility, assets one acquires, it will gradually diminish and you will lose everything. As we were reading earlier, that many big kings came, but many dynasties came. You had like big dynasties like the Roman Empire, even had the British Empire for a few hundred years, but sooner or later it's all liquidated. It cannot remain forever. Gradually diminish and you will lose everything. When we appreciate this law, the desire to accumulate wealth will slowly wane. We do want unlimited wealth, but for using it in the service of the Lord, not for sense gratification and exploitations. So nothing wrong with opulence as long as it's used in the service of the Lord. Lakshmi should always be used in the service of the Lord. Do we feel the happiness when we are serving the Lord? Do we feel that same ecstasy, that same feeling that I don't want to leave? Do we feel enlivened? So, do we get those feelings when we are serving? No, probably not. I know, can say for myself, We need to intensify our service. We need to increase our service to experience these statements Srila Prabhupada is making. I need to purify that service. This is actually one of the problems that we have is that if we are not feeling it, then it's just lack of purification. There's still lust or in our desires of material satisfaction, in our senses, in our mind, in our intelligence. That lust is there, that we cannot enjoy serving we cannot enjoy the service of the Lord. First of all, I need to increase my service and increase the purity of that service. I need to reduce offenses in that service. I need to increase the pleasure the Lord is driving from that service. I need to increase Prabhupada's pleasure from that service. So we have to see where are we going wrong? What is lacking from internal actions and external actions? First of all, we have the Lord's supreme service. We should be happy serving the Lord. When people see our happiness, they will want the same. This is where our happiness lies. So not only do we serve, we inspire others. If we do things nicely and we look happy doing it, we look excited, we look enthusiastic, then people naturally they want to do the same. In fact, when we're doing service in an enthusiastic way, even Krishna joins in. He says, "Come on, let me give you a hand as well." He's happy to do that, and he can do that. He can do anything. So when Krishna says that we are serving in such a nice way, he'll come and join us. You can see, you feel the bliss when Krishna is joining into our service. Gives you a helping hand to make sure we can do things so nicely. But we've got to be wanting to do it, and the problem is because not completely purified. We have anarthas and we have desires, and we got to check them. So where are we going wrong, and how can we purify those contaminations? Evam nirpanam shiti bhar janmanam aksho bin bihi pavrita tejasam vidhaya veram shavasno yathanalam mitho vedana parato nirayuddha. So evam thus nirpanam of the kings or administrators, shti bhar the burden of the earth, janmanam born in that way, akshuhi ni bihi empowered by military strength of horses, elephant, chariots, and infantry, parivrita being puffed up by such surroundings, tejasam praus vidhaya having created, veram hostility, shavsanaha interaction of the wind and the pipe plants, yatha as it is, analam fire, mithavid one another, vadena by killing them, upratha relieved, nirayuda by himself without being a party to such fighting. So the Lord was pacified after killing those kings who were burdensome to the earth. They were puffed up with their military strength, their horses, elephant, chariots, infantry, etc. He himself was not a party in the fighting or fight. He simply created hostility between the powerful administrators, and they fought amongst themselves. He was like the wind, which causes friction between bamboos and so sparks a fire. So Krishna gives so many metaphors in Bhagavad-Gita, and he gives so many metaphors in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam as well. And here he's saying that he acts like the wind between the bamboo sticks who rub against each other and cause a fire, and they get burnt up in that fire themselves. And so it's like that he will create a situation that just can't be checked. It has to end up in a fight. See what happened with the Kauravas and Pandavas, if you think about it, how Dhritarashtra was, although he's the elder brother, he was born blind, he didn't get the kingdom, his brother got it, then his brother passed away, then he got it back, he wanted to keep it, all the seems that Yudhishthira had the right because he was the elder son. Like, things were created just like testing people's patience and their desires, and it had to end up in a fight because like a checkmate situation that it was hard to get out of, and the only way to solve it was through a fight. And even Krishna demonstrated that I can maybe help. I went as a Shanti Dut. That still did not work because in the end there had to be a fight to relieve the burdensome on the earth of these kings that were there. There was a lot of atrocity going on, and that had to be relieved. So, as stated above, the living beings are not factual enjoyers of things which are manifested as God's creation. The Lord is a genuine proprietor and enjoyer of everything manifested in its creation. Excuse me. And unfortunately, influenced by the deluding energy, the living being becomes a false enjoyer under the dictation of the modes of nature. Puffed up by such a false sense of becoming God, the deluded living being increases material strength by so many activities and thus becomes the burden of the earth. So, false sense of becoming God. This is the thing we're saying at the beginning, that we are nothing like God, but we just get this, we have this false ego, and we think that we are God. And that's just ignorance, just lack of knowledge. When we have the knowledge and we understand that we really are nothing, so much that the earth becomes completely inhabitable by the sane. This state of affairs is called dharmasya glani, or misuse of the energy of the human being. When such misuse of human energy prominent, the sane living beings become perturbed by the awkward situation created by the vicious administrators. So the energy is given to all of us, but it's meant to be used in the service of the Lord. Everything given to us is actually meant, all the senses, the intelligence, the mind, soul, and the body, material body, is all meant to be used in the service, but we use it for wrong purposes. That's because we have the consciousness is contaminated. The intelligence there, the energy is there, the power is there, but also the contamination is there, so it's misdirected. He does not favor either of the unwanted administrators, but by his potential power he creates hostility between such unwanted administrators as the air creates fire in the forest by friction of the bamboos. The fire in the forest takes place automatically by the force of the air, and similarly the hostility between different groups of politicians takes place by unseen design of the world. The unwanted administrators, puffed up by false power and military strength, thus become engaged in fighting amongst themselves over ideological conflicts, and so exhaust themselves of all powers. The history of the world reflects this factual will of the Lord, and it will continue to be enacted until the living beings are attached to the service of the Lord. So in the Bhagavad-Gita 7:14, this fact is very vividly described. It is said, the deluding energy is my potency, and thus it is not possible for the dependent living beings to supersede the strength of the material modes. But those who take shelter in me, the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, can cross over the gigantic ocean of material energy. That's the three modes we're talking about. This means that no one can establish peace and prosperity in the world by fruitive activities or by speculative philosophy or ideology. The only way is to surrender unto Supreme Lord and thus become free from the illusion of the deluding energy. So Krishna is saying that this energy of mind in 714 is so strong that you cannot overcome it. As soon as we are born, we are overtaken by the three modes of nature, and we cannot release ourselves. They're like three gunas, they're like three ropes that bind us, and we cannot release ourselves. Only the Lord can release us, because we are bound. How can somebody bound release himself? How can somebody else who's also bound release us? Only the Lord And the person who has managed to become unbound, like the spiritual master, they can unbind us. Yeah. Unfortunately, persons who are engaged in destructive work are unable to surrender to the personality Godhead. They are all fools of the first order, the lowest of human species of life. They are robbed of their knowledge, although apparently they seem to be academically educated. They are all of demoniac mentality. So it's the mentality is the problem, the consciousness is the problem. Always challenging the supreme power of the Lord. Those who are very materialistic, always hankering after material power and strength, are undoubtedly fools of the first order because they have no information of the living energy. And being ignorant of that supreme spiritual science, they are absorbed in material science, which ends with the end of the material body. They are the lowest of human beings because the human life is especially meant for re-establishing the lost relation with the Lord. They miss this opportunity by being engaged in material activities. They are robbed of their knowledge because even after prolonged speculation, they cannot reach to the stage of knowing the personality Godhead, summum bonum of everything. So it's advised that we don't speculate, we use the knowledge as given in the scriptures. It will be a lot more accurate and be a lot more quicker. We can spend all our lives speculating and still not reach any definite conclusion. And all of them are men of demoniac principle, and they suffer the consequences, as did such materialistic heroes as Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, and Kamsa, and others. So many examples are given for our benefit, so we can learn by, if so we don't have to experience it, we can learn by seeing and hearing. So this is 34. Okay. So conflict is arranged by the Lord to ensure dharma is established. Krishna arranges for them to fight between themselves. Right, we discussed that. And yeah, so we will have the same in our lives unless we surrender. We don't want to be in this category. Saying this is why these examples are given, like Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and Kamsa. And just like Brahma thought he was the only Brahma until he saw all of the Brahmas bigger than him and with more heads. So that's another pastime when Brahma came to see Krishna, and I think what happened that he told the gatekeeper that tell Krishna that Brahma is here. So he went and told Krishna that Brahma is here and came back, and he says, the Lord says, which Brahma? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's serious. So when he went to see Krishna, Krishna shown him that actually you are the Brahma with 4 heads, and you're the smallest Brahma. We have Brahma with like million heads as well, and like Brahma realized, oh dear, I thought there's only one Brahma, and like I was the original creation, etc., etc., and like I was doing everything, but I am just a little cog in the wheel of the mighty creation of the Lord. And it's like that. We got to understand that even if Brahma of this creation can feel like that, then who are we to feel that we are something big? Let's see how big purport on the. Okay, I think we'll leave 35 then, because it's quite a big purport, and we can stop here. Thank you so much, and yeah, quite humbling when we hear and see things like this. That and this is the whole idea, is to bring us to ground, that we have this notion of service, mostly because most of us are in the mode of passion, and through that we think we can do anything, but we should understand, although we try our best, but we're still limited, and we need the Lord's help. So thank you, and maybe we can start with Hina Mataji, and then Kiran Prabhu. Oh, sorry, Hina Mataji. Oh yes, Vesha Mataji is here. Let's start with the Swishi Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Where we're talking about to Krishna. Krishna is everything. Krishna is absolute. He's the absolute truth. There's no truth is higher than him. It's in Bhagavad-Gita. It says there is no truth superior. He says himself. He says to Arjuna that there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me. As the pearls are strung on a thread. So it's all about Krishna's, it's about Krishna's energies and his work. And he expands himself. He can do anything he likes. He expands himself like a plenary entities, like the queens of Dwarika, gopis, and then he expands himself separated energy as well. Like we human beings, we are separated energy of Krishna. And he comes in this world for different purpose, like he got his purpose, and he says in Bhagavad-Gita, everybody knows that why he comes here, and it's just so much, sometimes so much burden on earth, that Mother Earth, she can't hold the burden of this. She said, I can hold everything, mountains, houses, anything, but I can't have the burden of the sins. So, she goes to all the demigods, and then demigods, they go to Lord Vishnu in the church, Chiridai Vishnu. And then he comes with his devotees and to relieve the burden of the earth. And Krishna is proprietor of everything of spiritual and material world. He is Bhaktaram Estapsamlok Maheshwaram. He's the proprietor of charity, sacrifice. He is the controller of planets and the living entity. He's everything. Krishna is everything. That's why he's absolutely. And he's enjoyer. He bhaktam estam sablok mareshwaram. But the living entity will like, everybody wants to be proprietor. Everybody wants to enjoy. And because they never think, they think everything comes itself, everything emanates itself, but they don't know that somebody is behind it who can produce all these things. No, it never comes to their mind. They think it's just everything happens automatically, and they want to enjoy, and that is the cause of suffering, because everything they forget, that everything they can't enjoy. Sometimes people, they work so hard and they said they think they're gonna enjoy when they become old, but they can't. They get sickness or something happens to them, or the early death. So everything is temporary, is illusion, and that is called Maya. And we leave everything behind. So some people say we come with nothing, we go with nothing. But I heard somebody says that we don't come with nothing. We come with our karma. With a bad karma or good karma, we come. And then we leave body, we take the karma with us. So we come with something and go with something. We don't come with the empty hand, don't go with empty hand. We take our bad or good karma, and that is the reason for our next body. And a lot of people, they don't believe in God. They have an animal life, like eat, sleep, might, and defend. They don't ever think that somebody is behind it. And then 4 kinds of Krishna mentions 4 kinds of people, that one of fruited activities, sometimes they do sacrifice other things for themselves, like to enjoy themselves, fruitive activities, and then the sense enjoyment, and that is to satisfy their senses. They think that is the thing in this world, to satisfy ourselves and to enjoy. That's where we come from. They don't forget that we are part and parcel of Krishna. We come to save Krishna, and Krishna gives us chance to go back to Godhead. That's the last human form we can get back to Godhead. He gives a chance to go back to Godhead, but we don't. We go again, we're repeating the same things, have repeated birth and death. And then there's people that materially advanced, they don't believe in God. And the life scientists, they think everything animated by chemical or something else. And then there's the atheists. And they say, where is God? Where is God? Can you see the God? Well, we can't see the God without material eyes. We've got because they have no knowledge. People in this world, what happened, why they noticed, because lack of knowledge. Nobody tells them who is Krishna, who are we, what is the material nature, what is karma. Nobody, they haven't got knowledge. That's one true. The thing to say, where's God? Where is? Well, I mean, the devotees, they can see God through the mind or through the scriptures. I mean, when we read anything, we can, in the back of our mind, we can little bit imagine how everything what happening when we read about this, anything in the Bhagavatam. I don't know if everybody. I mean, I can picture, I haven't seen anything, but I can picture, something like when you see gopis dancing with Krishna, you can picture yourself, that means you see in the back of your mind, you can see Krishna, you can see Yamuna River, you can see all these things. So we can't see materialized, but we can see through that is called revelation. And so that's why it's very important to read pastimes about Krishna, and how we learn how Krishna loves the living entities, because everybody part and parcel of Krishna. He got no 5 returns, yes, but he loves more people who go and save him. Then he get very satisfied, and he'll do anything for the devotees. And Krishna says he can do anything for his devotees. I mean, even he can, in Mahabharata, we know that he broke his promise. He said he's not going to lift any weapons. But when Bhishma Pitama was attacking Arjuna, he lifted, so he broke. That's why he said, next time, when he said, my devotees will never perish, he didn't say himself that people might not believe me because I break promises for the devotees of the Arjun, you tell that my devotees will never perish. And so, we are doing, with your mercy, Narayan Keshava Prabhu, we have in Bhagavatam, he giving so much knowledge. And some many things, people, the knowledge is a main thing. If you have knowledge, that means you're ignorant. You don't know anything about it. So we just try to save Krishna, have association with the devotees, and that's how we're gonna learn. And we'll keep it up till we can. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
You're mute. Hare Krishna, you're mute. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, just thanking especially Mataji for that. Yeah, and so you're very right that we have this opportunity to listen and to read. And thanks to Srila Prabhupada for giving us this knowledge. Otherwise, we would have missed out on all this as well, and would have been totally ignorant of these facts. And you come and thinking you're God, and then you're on your deathbed, and then you might even realize that you're not really God. But then, by the time it's too late, and it's time to go back, and then you come back again, maybe in a lower body, same type of body, who knows? So we can't take that risk. And now we have the information, should use it for our benefit. And I'm just saying that please stay on. If you don't need to speak, you can stay and listen. It's not a problem. So we'll ask Meena Masi to speak. Maybe she needs to go to work from here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Like for me, I think it's one of the first verses we covered of 33 about the glorification of the feet of the Lord, being ever new, and how can any questions on this? How can you be detached? How can you be detached from those feet after taking shelter of them? And I was thinking about how his lotus feet, Krishna's lotus feet, are the only shelter. However, we can reach that shelter and those feet through our minds. There's no material impediments, and all it takes is a simple meditation on those feet, and then we can carry that image with us throughout the day. It's almost like a simple exercise, trying to memorize those feet and trying to recall them throughout the day. What decorations has he got all around his feet? The tulsi decoration, what type of anklets is he wearing, what colours is he, it's almost that kind of meditation, and you can almost bring it to the forefront of your mind anytime during the day. And it's just one way of carrying that darshan as well. And then another couple of points were just around how we're born to serve the Supreme, and that is our supreme occupation, and that's where we feel the most happiness, and that's when we're in our element. Therefore, everything that we do needs to be connected in some way to Krishna's pleasure and his service. And then there were some nice points around the gunas and the strength of the gunas, and how we can't escape these unless we do turn to Krishna. And it's only through devotional service that those ropes can slacken, essentially, and we can escape. So the hold that those gunas have on us. So that was it from me. Thank you so much, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Okay, Kiran Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. I promise to be very, very short. Again, the virtues of women, the female gender, amplified because the queens let their sons go and embrace Krishna, their husband. This is the etiquette behind our Indian culture. There is an intimacy between a husband and a wife, but that intimacy is confined to your own little quarters. In the West, there's no concept of intimacy. They'll embrace, they'll kiss, they'll hold hands, you name it, wherever, whenever, however, in any old place. And it just goes to show that, we have such an elevated society, such a society which is not animalistic. We embrace our deities with our eyes and our hearts. We embrace each other in a way that is affectionate, not lustful. The material world is driven by lustful desires. The spiritual world is incremental. The material world is diminishing. And anything we have in the material world will perish. You'll have a new Rolex. Next year, a new model will come out. And so your 25 model will no longer be significant. But the investment in the spiritual world will be incremental and will be blessed by the goddesses of fortune. They want you to be immersed in that spiritual world. And that spiritual world makes us realize that we're just a part and partial of divinity. We're just an instrument, and the ultimate doer is Krishna. And we have to reciprocate that relationship, be the servant of the servant of the servant, and serve divinity. That is our purpose. Those who create dynasties and empires, they're not forever. Rome, Britain, the European empires, they're now experiencing what they left behind because they are now getting the returns from that. Those who conquered are now being conquered by others. Those who were the 80% impoverished or marginalized are now saying, hang on, you can't keep us down forever. Ultimately, we have to realize that we have to be fixated on the spiritual development, which is far more superior. But that makes us also engage in the ideology that the concept of our own importance related to ego, ignorance, arrogance, lust, have to be lessened, and also to be confined to the garbage bag of history, our own histories. Intelligence should be used for the worship of divinity and for the purpose of elevating humanity. This is how the goddess of fortune has helped us. But we are very misfortunate to fail to recognize what is in front of us. That if the fortune is not adhered to, then misfortune will come around again and again, and hence we have the rounds of birth, disease, death, and rebirth. Because we're fixated to the three modes of nature. They are an implicit and integral part of our lives. We have a choice, ignorance or the mode of goodness. There are three modes, but goodness should always, always, always prevail all others. Human life is for no other reason but for God realization, because we have failed to realize it for those 8 million plus life forms before, and hence we still languish in Brahma's prison. Even Brahma thought he was great until Krishna showed him, which Brahma? Which you and I? We're so insignificant. One grain of sand in the Sahara, one drop of water in the vast seas, just a mere speck of dust. That's all we are. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, and you're right. How the balance of power keeps changing. Everything is changing. This is a symptom of this material world. Everything changes. The balances change, and there's only one constant, and that's the Krishna. That's the Lord Himself. His power never changes. He's always supreme. Thank you so much. And just going to say that Monday we'll finish this chapter and overview on Wednesday evening. So no program on Wednesday morning. We'll have overview on Wednesday evening regarding this from a very exalted devotee. His Grace Dinabandha Prabhu is really good and really worth listening. We can sort of consolidate the whole chapter from his katha. Thank you so much. And Ajay Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Nice points explained. That's words from the devotees. it's it's incumbent on us to realize that previously personalities that are vastly far powerful than us have tried to misuse the resources of this world, and they have failed ultimately. That's what we always easily forget, the likes of Hiranyakashipu, Kamsa, Ravan. Vastly more powerful, vastly more intelligent as well, actually, in the sense that take Ravan, for example, was expert in the Vedas. Problem was he didn't apply the knowledge properly. He knew everything, but he didn't understand it. It's to be used for the service of the Lord, not for one's own greed and lust. And that's pretty much that's the essence of it, really. When we understand that we are meant to serve the Lord, everything falls into place when we try to use it for our own misguided notions. We try to be like, as it explained in the purports, we try to be the enjoyer. That's when things go wrong. We just we can. It's no, no, we're not allowed to enjoy. You just have to enjoy with Krishna. It's not really that difficult in the grand scheme of things. It's just the laziness, really, a bit of selfishness. It's all it takes is a bit of understanding of that where you are. It's not being someone's servant isn't a bad thing actually in one sense, because even the best leader is the one that actually serves, not the one that actually tries to use things, manipulate people for their own desires. They try to help others. And so in that case, you could argue you're leading Krishna in the sense that you're trying to give Krishna what he wants, and Krishna likewise will lead you. It's a mutual relationship in that sense. You don't have to look at yourself as lower. You can look at yourself as just enjoying what naturally comes to you. It's a mutually loving relationship. You're showing a love for Krishna, showing a love for his devotees. It's it works very nicely. It's just you need to be able to understand what works well for you, as opposed to trying to force something that doesn't work well for you. You do all that, then everything falls into place nicely. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much. Yeah, plus this material world is overrated. We think we can find all the happiness here, but it's not really there. Then we get disappointed. Duality is there, and really best if we understand our constitutional position, and by that, do the right thing, and get eternal happiness. Radharani?
Hare Krishna, my pranams to all of you. Yes, everything in this material world needs servicing, isn't it? We buy something, and next thing we know, we need to update it. You get a new phone, they keep sending you updates and all that. So this shows that this material world is very, very fragile. It's not permanent at all. It's got its defects. It comes with liabilities, and still people think that, oh yes, we are going to enjoy forever, and they stay in this illusion until their good karma comes and the devotional service comes into their lives. Otherwise, everything is there in this world given by the Almighty for devotional service, but they don't employ it into it for it. Instead, they just keep using it for their own sense gratification. So the best thing which I felt today hearing was that Krishna becomes our helper, our servant when we are trying to serve him. So in which other religion or philosophy you will hear that the Lord becomes your servant. He becomes so happy with your devotional service that he wants to help you. He wants to elevate you. He wants to provide you everything so that you can come quickly to him. You can progress. He doesn't want us to, regress. As in the material life, there's competition, there's envy, and here is someone who is not going to. Here there is your Lord. Your nice words used. He's our employer, an eternal employer. Otherwise, in this world these days, people say they've lost the job. This, that. You can't find an eternal employer in this day and age. And here you've got an eternal employer who provides you everything, and who does the best for you, who gives you the best of the situation. All he wants is your devotion, your integrity. And it's shame that most of the time people are using all these good qualities in the wrong purpose, and they are ready to keep coming back into this world again and again, instead going into an eternal world where you have no problems with the body. That is, you have got no false ego. The body is the false ego we have. You don't have that. You don't have to worry for anything. There are kalpatarus, the desire trees. You will say to the tree, I want this. A mango tree will give you a pineapple. It will give you anything. That's amazing. And here in this world, a mango tree will give mango if it wants to. If it gets inflicted by some problem in a season, you won't get any mangoes on that mango tree. So how wonderful, amazing eternal spiritual world is waiting for us. If we just keep picturing that whenever we are hearing the katha or going through our day-to-day life, if we see something so beautiful in this world and just say, my creator must be so beautiful, who has created a little bit of this beauty which we think is immense, which is around us. That is going to keep us on our path of devotional service very nicely. So I wish you all a very happy Pashan Kusha Ekadashi today, and enjoy the Ekadashi with the rest of your activities today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you all so much, and we'll complete this on Monday. So Granth Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai,
Jai,
Srila
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Gaura
Gaura
Premanande.
Premanande. Hari Hari
Hari Hari
Bol.
Bol. Thank you all so much.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.